Hello and welcome to At His Pace. Today we are going to be talking about leadership. Pass.
That is such leadership. So the reason why we want to talk about leadership is because we decided, or I decided, that we needed a COVID puppy, and so we got a COVID.
The puppy gave us COVID?
No, we got a puppy during COVID, and so we have a new member of the White House. He is a giant schnauzer, and he's a puppy. And those of you who've had dogs know that puppy life is not fun. And we have forgotten what puppy life was like with our previous dog.
Too old for this.
Yeah, we should have realized it real quick. But nevertheless, we have a dog. The White House is balanced. There's 2 male figures and there's 2 female figures.
Oh, is that what's wrong with us?
And so the reason why we want to discuss leadership is that I have found out that in having a puppy, you have to establish who the alpha is in the family, which is me. And
sorry.
Yeah, no, you can't do that. And the hierarchy in terms of the family and leadership. And so I'm finding out during this puppy stage that my communication with this puppy is jacked up. It's very inconsistent. It's very emotional driven sometimes. And so I'm not necessarily putting the puppy in a good position to display positive behavior that's good for a well-trained dog. And so I find that what I say and what I require of him is totally different. So the puppy is confused.
Is the wife confused too?
Wife's probably confused too. The whole house is just upside down because of this puppy. Oh, Lord. Anyway, and so I thought this was so instrumental in terms of leadership because it made me really reflect on how I communicate with Rhonda.
The puppy Rhonda.
How I communicate with Aaron.
The puppy Aaron.
And how I communicate with the actual puppy, Tyson. And so it made me really evaluate what I say, how I say, and do I communicate it in a manner in which it allows the people that I'm talking to display the behavior that's necessary in that exchange. And I think that's so pivotal because if I'm emotional and at a 10 and screaming and hollering, then more than likely I'm going to get 1 or 2 behaviors. I'm going to get the receiver of that communication is going to shut down and just totally have nothing to do with me, or they're going to clap back at me. And so I kind of reap what I sow, so to speak.
Nobody claps back at you in this.
Oh, yeah, they do.
I too have found out that my communication is, Mark called it jacked up as well. But the bottom line is this. With puppies and with people, you have to be clear, and it is my responsibility as the communicator to ensure that the communicatee is hearing what I am saying and that they understand it. It's not their responsibility to understand what I'm saying because they're not saying it. And so it's really easy to say, well, you know what I mean. Well, maybe they don't. Maybe they don't. And maybe as the communicator, you have to give that person the benefit of the doubt.
Yes.
So just because you hear it in your head one way does not mean that it is being expressed in that same way, because we have different filters. The communicatee has a different filter. They were raised differently. They've had different things going on in their day than you have. And so it is important that it's important to be an active listener. I'm not saying that. But I feel like that as communicators, we shouldn't get frustrated if you have to explain something 3 or 4 times. You can't just forget it. Never mind. No, that's not the person's fault because they don't understand. Mm-hmm. It really should be the communicator. Just like this puppy can't tell us really what he feels. Thank goodness, because he probably would run away. But if we want different results from him, then we have to use different language and the appropriate language.
Yeah, and so puppy life is real. It's been a challenge, and so I think for us, I know for me personally, I've learned a lot just from having him, and so my communication has been better with him. My expectations have been better because I'm clearly communicating what I'm requiring of him, and I think it's allowed me to even take a step back and watch my communication with my wife and with Aaron. And so, hey, I'm not saying get a puppy. Oh, God, don't get a puppy.
You all can come get ours.
Yeah, whatever. Just give me $1. That's all I need.
Ooh.
Just yeah, $1. But what I am saying is just to evaluate how you're communicating, and if you're not getting the behavior or you're not getting what you expect from that exchange, then you have to evaluate yourself and see if that you're communicating in a clear, effective way. And if that be the case, then make the necessary corrections and go about it.
Because bottom line is, if you're the leader and you're not communicating effectively, then no one that is following you should be expected to do what you are asking.
Right. So when I say sit, they stand, and when I say come, they go. I mean, this is all over the board. So when I call your name, you don't know who I'm talking to. So hey, we are crazy over here, but puppy life is real, and you might be wondering why we're wearing these jerseys, because this is the year 23.
Right. How could they worry?
It's the year of Jordan. 23 years of marriage. Whitehouse. Be well and be blessed.
Out.